What's up, Internet Wayne here, also known as Media Clash. No, over here, right here, Media Clash, also known as Media Clash in the toy community and in the podcast community as well. Host of the Media Clash podcast, and I figured what I would do is I haven't put up a regular video in a while, so I would just talk about Pulsecon, and because I've seen a lot of people bitching and complaining about Pulsecon. And I mean, seriously, guys, this is toys. It's not that serious. So, yeah, let's get into it, shall we? So, yeah, I'm trying a little new format here. Trying to be a little bit, up my production. Um, so we have, background me, some of the slides and things where we'll show you. So let's get right into it. Pulsecon 2024 Hasbro reveals. There wasn't really a lot revealed at Pulsecon. If you're a true diehard fan, like a lot of these man children online who cry about these events are, then you would know all of this was leaked ahead of time. We knew exactly what was getting shown. I I think there was only like one Transformers thing that didn't get leaked, and I don't even have it in the slideshow because now I'm just remembering that it was a thing. But yeah, so PulseCon 2024 was last week. Um, my my thought process um, is that the event wasn't needed. Not this close to Comic Con. There's a lot of conventions coming up. They did some special stuff for San Diego. They're going to do some special stuff for New York City Comic Con. Um, actually, later on today, I think is going to be like another set of Transformers reveals because today is the actual 40th anniversary. And I say today because I'm recording this at 1 a.m. on September 17th. Um, today's like the 40th anniversary of Transformers, actually, the episode coming on television, that first episode coming on TV. So they're probably going to be doing some releases today or some reveals or something like that. So I don't think PulseCon was needed. I think you could have just, if you were on a time schedule of things when you wanted to release them or show them, you could have just did a less complicated, you know, here's everything we've got. Um, but with that said, let's get into what was revealed, and we're gonna start with Dragon Man. Now, I just watched a video earlier tonight about somebody doing the same thing, covering PulseCon. But what I love is other people who cover and claim to be doing the toy news. They don't know anything about like character backgrounds or the process of making toys or things like that. Like, call it being snobbish, but my background is in production, it is in journalism, it is in things like that. I have worked professionally in those fields. So, and it may just be my own personality quirk. I have to learn and know about everything if I'm going to talk about it because I don't want to look like an ass. And a lot of people who talk about toys and a lot of other things, movies, TV, they have no idea what the process is. So they talk out of their ass. So I heard somebody today talking about Dragon Man is just on the cusp of being too expensive. Dragon Man, as you can see plainly on the screen, is going to be $85. It stands 10 inches tall. It has a 14-inch wingspan with the wings that are completely, stretched out. And it has a 10-inch long tail. It is a large chunk of plastic. Now, that $85 has to cover for creation of the molds, manufacturing, paint, the people who work at Hasbro, utilities. It's still one of the biggest issues I have when people complain about prices. It's like, do you not like, you have to pay your utility bill at home, right? So why do you think a business doesn't have to pay their utility bill? Like, there has to be a chunk of, I wouldn't even call it profit, because profit comes after all of your bills are paid. So there has to be, here's the cost of manufacturing, which is still covering like the people getting paid at the manufacturer and the processes of manufacturing. And then here is the chunk of change that's going to pay for our people. And at the end of it all, there is going to be a bit of profit so we can, continue to operate or reinvest in the company. Now, has Hasbro screwed with their profits and made some bad decisions? Yes. The Entertainment One deal is what is causing them to constantly, for the last few quarters, be in the red, despite what people will tell you, where they're like, oh, Disney's causing them to lose money. And no. Disney decisions are causing them to make less money on their action figures, but they still make money and it's still profitable. Having to write down billions of dollars for the E1 purchase and then sell off at a loss is what is tanking Hasbro's books. Am I like the last person that took civics and, economics in high school where they explained how these things work? It feels like that sometimes. But anyway, I digress. $85 for Dragon Man. Look, is it overpriced? I don't know. I don't think it is, because, and let me show you, this guy who is as big as my head was 100. This is a Commander class Transformer. This is Skyfire or Jetfire, however you want to call him. He was $100. No, actually, originally he was less than 100. I think he was like 80. The reissue is 100, and this transforms, and it's not, it doesn't have a 14-inch wingspan, it doesn't have a 10-inch tail, but it's big. It's as big as my head. It takes up almost as much room as the Stinger on my desk. If I was to lay it down, it's got the same kind of like footprint as the Stinger, so that should tell you how big it is. That was worth $100 to me. That's worth $100 to me. Thankfully, I don't think this has yellowed any. You know what? I have my handy dandy black light right here, and yeah, no, I don't think it has the plastic on it that yellowed. So yeah, this is a white action figure that is not yellowing, which is amazing. But it's $100, and I think it's worth $100. Dragon Man, is it worth $85? It's bigger than $100 Commander class Transformer, so I'm gonna go, yeah, $85 sounds about right. Is it too expensive? Yes, because I would prefer not to pay 100. I would have preferred not to pay what I originally paid for, Jetfire, but it is what it is. That's the price that and we bought it. Person I heard bitching and complain about it says, "Oh, it's just on the cusp of being too expensive," but I ordered one. How is that showing them with your wallet that they're charging too much if you just bought it anyway? See. I don't get the toy community at all. Like, it's just weird. It's weird, man. Like, if you think it's too expensive, don't buy it. Like, how I don't. Either way, Dragon Man, it looks awesome. A wholly unique sculpt. I don't know of other Marvel characters that are that big that you could use that on. You would probably have to remold like the feet and the arms some if you were going to use it in a new head. You could probably figure out like a full-blown like Maestro Hulk maybe. You could, yeah, I mean, there's probably, there might be some characters you could retool from that mold, a new head, plug in the holes in the back for the wings, do some, you might be able to reuse some of that down the line. But I mean, again, Hasbro is literally doing a pre-order, and however many get pre-ordered is what's going to get made. So it goes to show that the HasLab model is not how it should go. Because again, like I'd have got a Rattler, I'd have got a Hiss, hell, I got a Dragonfly. I'd have got those three if they were cheaper. Sub 200, yeah, I'd have been all in. I'm kind of pissed I missed out on Unicron at $600. So yeah, but hey, it is what it is. It's your money. You don't have to spend it. If you don't think this is a good deal, don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? And I just remembered to press record, locally. So, hey, I'm gonna have to pull my video from this live stream to add to the edited version. Um, what do we have next? We have Kang. Comic book Kang is awesome. Thankfully, I do not buy Legends. It's way too many figures. I am not a fan of the MCU figures. I've said this before. I have an MCU cap, but it's because I have a Captain America collection. I don't have a Marvel Legends collection, and as much as I love Gambit, I don't have a Gambit. I want like the ultimate kind of like comic Gambit from like the '90s, because everybody from Southern Louisiana who's a comic book fan loves Gambit, and that's the Gambit we all identify with. So yeah, I that is, in my opinion, what hurt Marvel's sales. It's not the fact that MCU properties suck and woke this and woke that. Like, you don't even get me started on that, because that's just a bunch of fucking man babies who can't look at stories that don't have them in it. They can't identify with things with vaginas. Um, but I think when you had these when Legends in the MCU was doing gangbuster numbers, it was like with a younger audience, and then that audience has now grown up. I don't think, and we'll see this with Star Wars later on. You can only make a figure so many times. Like, nobody needs another Chris Evans cap. We need a good comic book cap, and we don't need another Tony Stark Iron Man. We need just a good comic Iron Man. And I think that's what they've kind of realized with their last few waves. They've been doing a lot of comic book stuff, and people have been like, now it's good. They have the Disney. They're in business with Disney. Disney made a TV show. Of course, Disney wants to try and sell merchandise from that TV show. There's nobody in here, and something just made a whole hell of a lot of noise. But they want to make money off their merchandising from their TV shows. I get it. Everyone should get that. I don't need an actor exact action figure. Like, that's the problem. I think a lot of problems too with some of the MCU stuff, and Marvel and Hasbro kind of gets the short end of the stick of it, is costume design on some of these things are not that great. Like, let's be real, the Eternals line doesn't look good. Because it's just nobody wants action figures of those actors, for one, and the costume design in Eternals was horrible. So yeah, there's a shit ton of Eternal stuff just sitting on the shelves because the figures are fine for what they are. It's just the designs and the artwork are horrible. And it's not that, go woke, go broke. No, like, character design matters when you are selling figures. Like, the term toyetic is a term for a reason. It's why people buy ridiculous wrestling figures, because the costume designs and the design of the figures is grabs you, because you see that on television. And it goes to show, like, character design and characters will sell toys, even if, like, I'm kind of glad we don't get like super hyper realistic wrestling figures, because nobody wants that. Like, again, I don't want a super hyper realistic Chris Evans. I want Captain America. See what I'm saying? But here we're talking about this Kang here. This Kang looks awesome. Comes in his timeshare that, you know, we could have gotten in Quantumania. It was there. Again, I liked Quantumania. It was a good movie. Don't let people tell you otherwise. Comes with a bunch of stuff. Comes with a chair. Comes with 2 extra faces. You know, it is what it, you know, nobody's going to buy multiple of these that have multiple versions of Kang. Like, I get it. There's multiple versions of Kang. This is like this 616 Kang. If you're going to make the other versions, just make the other versions. Make Rama Tut. Make He Who Remains. Like, make those other versions of, you know, of Kang. Like, we get the lizard face and the other face from the classic comic book that had the Council of Kangs or whatever you want to call it. So you can make those, but nobody's buying 3 of these to make those in their display. Like, no. So this is awesome if you're a Marvel Legends collector. This is a pretty definitive Kang. And again, I'll say, if you want it, get it. If you don't want it, don't bitch about it online. Just move on to the next thing, because you bitching isn't going to do anything. Because somebody wants this. Why shit on what somebody else wants if they want it? Next up, we have, they said they were going to round out their Spider-Man animated series with a animated Spider-Man and a Vulture 2-pack. I saw people complaining about this because it's not, you know, hey, somebody said it doesn't have butterflies. Like, the butterflies are clearly visible in the actual figure. The Spider-Man comes with 2 extra heads without mask and a dangling mask accessory and the standard hands. This set's $50. So basically each figure is 25. Marvel Legends are about 25 bucks a piece, and they don't come with all that many accessories. I guess because of licensing, you know, they have to kick back more to Marvel than you would on a self-owned IP. This looks cool. It's in the animated series aesthetic. I think more people would be interested in this if we got a continuation of the animated Spider-Man. He showed up at the end of X-Men 97, solidifying that they all took place in the same universe. So, yeah, I mean, this is an awesome figure. If you've got those other VHS box Spider-Man animated figures, why not pick up this to go with it? It is kind of weird. People are going, oh, I have other Spider-Man figures, but aesthetically they don't match. Like, these are in that animated series style. So, you know, especially this Vulture. This Vulture doesn't match any, like, this is the animated series Vulture. This doesn't match anything else. And he comes with Old Man Vulture head and 2 hands, and he has those big massive wings, which would also count as accessories, and his Young Man head. So, yeah, I mean, they look good. Like, I can't fault these. They look good. Again, I don't collect Legends because it's too big of a rabbit hole to fall down. But yeah, like, if I was into this, I would get these, like, no problem. These are kind of cool. So next we're gonna get into, they showed the Secret Wars series of figures. First up, we're gonna talk about Wolverine. This is the brown suit Wolverine with the toy deco. I hate when they do that. I hate when Transformers does it, where they give you, like, because the toys had a different deco than the actual animation. This is the toy deco with the thin front brown stripe. The Wolverine looks awesome. It comes with, like, the lenticular shield, which the original toys did. See what I'm saying? Like, and I'll talk about this kind of when we get to G.I. Joe. Like, update the figures. Like, you're playing too much and you're relying too much on nostalgia. Oh, this, you know, oh, this has the same deco as the figure from you know, whenever this was. Who, like, you're trying to get new fans in as well, and, like, to me, that stripe just looks way too small. But I mean, he looks awesome. He has its claws popping out the top of the hand. It's like, that's an old school look. And he comes with the unmasked head as usual, and you can swap out the lenticular and the shield with the just Secret Wars 40th anniversary on all of these, and it looks cool. I mean, like, it's an awesome pose. The Wolverine is an awesome character. But so it's another Wolverine. They put out a lot of Wolverines this year. There's because I think it's like his 50th or 50th anniversary maybe. So yeah, like there's been a lot of Wolverines this year. Next up, the Beyonder. Another thing that I heard today that completely blew my mind is somebody said this is going to peg woman end up at Ollie's. Like, the Beyonder is the reason Secret Wars is like, he was the main antagonist. So if you're collecting a Secret Wars line and you're making a Secret Wars shelf, you're gonna buy the Beyonder. Like, I don't. Again, it's when you have people talking about figures and toys and any kind of media or any kind of subject, and they don't know the backstory or they don't have information on said subject, but they speak as if they do. He comes, in his 70s. He was clearly created in the 70s. He's got his disco suit on. He looks awesome. That's a pretty awesome head sculpt. Comes with 2 extra hands, a explosion, like a mini explosion, and the lenticular shields like the other figures are going to. I saw one of the official photos had him like sitting cross-legged, like holding the explosion in his hands. Like, they look pretty awesome. Like, could you imagine if that thing had like a space for a battery and an LED in it? Like, that would be awesome. Like, those are the kind of accessories that would get more. I think it would get more people into buying things. Like, give me the explosion accessory that lights up. Like, that would be awesome. You could stick that on your shelf, like him holding it, like looking down at it, and it's like a little light you can leave on. And you just have like a little bitty glowing mini explosion on your shelf. Like, that'd be awesome. Yeah, he's cool. He's not gonna peg warm. Like, people who want the Secret Wars stuff are gonna get the Beyonder. Like, it's just it's a no brainer. Like, there is no Secret Wars without the Beyonder. Like, plain and simple. And the simple fact that you're going to have probably a version of the Beyonder in the movie in a couple of years. So yeah, like, this figure is not gonna peg warm. Then we have Titania. I will say this is what I really wished that we got in the She-Hulk show. Not just the like the influencer kind of deal was a good angle to go at, but like, this is awesome. She looks awesome, like big spike boots, big spikes on her arms. She looks like she could throw down with She-Hulk. And we kind of got that in the show. I wish we'd have got it like a little bit. We could have took that influencer storyline and like just expanded on it a little bit, so as she was less of a joke and more of a legit kind of threat. The couple of times they tussled, but I mean, this figure looks awesome. Like, I don't think she's as big as the She-Hulk. I think she might be a little bit shorter in scale, but I mean, it looks awesome. Like, that's a great version of this character. Like, absolutely a great version of this character. She was in Secret Wars, so it makes sense. Like, people go actually read the source material for these. Like, that is a great design. That's a great costume design. I mean, that's almost like Rachel Summers' Phoenix, kind of like with the spikes. Like, all she would need is like her thighs covered and the spikes to go all the way up, and then you're like the less of the. No, I mean, no. Rachel didn't have the plumage at the top of her boots, but it's the same thing. Like, so I mean, just imagine Rachel Summers like new figure with these kind of spikes and stuff on them. It would be awesome. This is an awesome figure. I don't think this is going to peg warm either, because you don't get that many new female characters, and I think people are going to go buy it. So again, I don't think this is going to show up at Ollie's. I could be wrong. People could be asses and just not buy this. Be like, I don't want it. I don't know who this is. But I mean, it looks like an awesome figure. It looks like it's got great articulation. It does suck that Marvel Legends don't come with that many accessories, because it would be awesome if she had like an alternate head and maybe some different hands, and like she's got these open hands, like maybe like a girder or something, like a weapon, to like have her fight She-Hulk, because there already is a She-Hulk out that is in the costume from Secret Wars. So these do go with other figures that have already been released. I mean, look at that. That looks awesome. Like it does. Like that, I could just see that sitting on a shelf and just being like that looks cool. Then we got Black Suit Spider-Man, which is Secret War. The original Secret Wars is when Black Suit Spider-Man showed up for the first time, which eventually became Venom. This one comes with his regular little, hands that always come with the Spider-Man, the lenticular shield, and he comes with the squinty, angry-eyed alternate head. Like it's a Spider-Man figure, and I know there have been Black Suit Spider-Mans, but this one is completely penless. Like all of these figures are completely penless. Like I am so happy that Hasbro is starting to like shift all their stuff to penless. It is so annoying. Like I have GI Joes that like have pinless arms but pinned legs, or they have pinless legs and pinned arms. It's ridiculous. It looks horrible. I'm so glad they're getting away from pins. It's long overdue, and like this Spider-Man looks awesome. Again, if I collected, I'd be all on this just because this looks like an awesome Black Suit Spider-Man. And again, we're getting a Spider-Man 4 movie. We may see Black Suit Spider-Man in that, which then will lead into Tom Holland in the black suit during Secret Wars, But again, people want to come bitch and complain about, oh, what are these executives doing? I don't know what the hell they're doing. You do realize it's the same executives in place that gave you all the movies and the shit that you were screaming about being so great, right? Like the crap you want to go back to, it's the same people making those decisions. Like there is one person that is no longer making decisions, and that was Bob Chapek, the CEO of Disney, who changed course from like slow and steady to we need to crank out everything because he overreacted for the pandemic. He's like, we need content, we need content, we need content. And that's what happens when you rush. You get stuff that's not fully realized properly. So yeah, they put this out. We're gonna probably get Black Suit Spider-Man in Spider-Man 4, and then Secret Wars, he'll show up and people will be like, oh, why is Spider-Man got an attitude? It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. And again, they're toys. You don't have to buy them. But this one looks awesome. Then we have Secret Wars Iron Man. And I heard people say, "Oh, this is just a re-release of the other one that's already been out." Like, no, this one's completely penless. So those are at least new arms and legs, which is a plus. And it's got the goofy roller skates that he had at that time because why not? Why not put roller skates on your Iron Man armor, Tony? That sounds like a perfect idea. It gets the smaller version of the hand blaster that the toy came from. That's a cool nod to the toy. Blast effects and a few different hands. He clearly is getting more accessories than the other figures. But it's Tony, it's Iron Man. It's a cool Iron Man armor from back in the 70s with the round edges and all that. It's basic. It's how what it looked like in the comic books. This is a very, again, comic book accurate Iron Man, and people are like, "Oh, I'll just use the AI Iron Man, like because it's the same thing." Like, no, it's a different body. It's different. It's got the same paint scheme, but it is different. It's from a different era of comic books as well. So I would guarantee you they're not identical. And then the creepy Captain America. Like I was thinking about getting this, and then his face is just. Oh, and I don't have one with the. How did I miss that? I don't have the one with the accessories, but it comes with a broken shield, and it doesn't look that great. Like I don't like it. It's flat. It's not rounded. It doesn't have the dome. It looks flat because it's broken and shattered, and so and his face just looks hella creepy in this. Like that smile, like the body looks good, but that face, my god, he looks creepy as hell. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna get that one. I don't need every Captain America. I have a couple of Captain Americas like in this. Like I don't have this light blue color scheme, but I do have a couple of caps, and then I have like a couple of MCU caps. So yeah, like this would have been the only one I would have gotten if that face didn't look so creepy. Um, if I find this one on clearance or whatever, I might get it. But yeah, like this is not a pre-order. So far, none of these I have pre-ordered at all. And I did pre-order stuff from Plusecon. Next up, we're gonna go to excuse me. Um, some of my favorite uh figures that I don't collect because again, another rabbit hole that I do not need to get sucked down into. Um, because the vintage collection would be the size that I would collect. Because you can get like they do the vehicles and stuff, and like Star Wars, it's kind of like GI Joe. You kind of like need the vehicles to go with them, so you kind of get the stuff from vintage collection. But yeah, it's not a hole I need to go down. And all I need from Black Series is like game stuff. Like that's the only things I need from Black Series. But yeah, so we have like the ARC Trooper Lieutenant from Ahsoka. Was just background, which is what Star Wars does with their toys. They give you background characters. Because yeah, these kids should be playing with this in the dirt, outside or on the carpet, like smashing them together. But us adults, we buy them in stormtroopers in bulk, and we just set them up on shelves in formation or whatever. So yeah, this one will, people will buy multiples of this. It's not a named 501st. It's just a 501st Lieutenant, as seen in Ahsoka in the flashback, with a young Ahsoka and a young Anakin. I can't remember if they did the vintage collection Rex from that episode. Not that it should be any different than any other Clone Wars Rex. From as long as it's in the same time period. Oh yeah, this one's cool. If I was in vintage collection, I would get this one. And then we have Anakin from Ahsoka. And again, like it doesn't look like Hayden Christensen. It's like not like a photo copy of his face, which is cool with me. Like, but that's also another reason why I'm not kind of into Star Wars. Like, I don't want a Hayden Christensen action figure. I want a Anakin Skywalker. So, like, if you gave me actual Clone Wars cartoon aesthetic stuff, like, I would probably start dipping my toe into and buying that stuff. The Bad Batch figures, the Black Series figures, just looked weird to me because they were trying to interpret what these modified clones of Jango Fett would look like with that realistic Tamara Morrison face. And I'm like, no, they don't look good. They did not look good. So yeah, like vintage collection, if like again, vintage collection would be the scale of what I would collect these at, but I would also want like non-realistic face sculpts and paints. Like so, but yeah, this Anakin looks cool. I'm not a fan of soft goods. I'm really not. And here's the thing. Anakin doesn't need a soft good skirt because he didn't really kick anybody. That wasn't his fighting style. He had a power fighting style. So yeah, the soft good cloak, the soft good skirt. It's not even the full cloak. The soft good skirt just, I don't know. It sticks out to me in addition to the fact that usually your plastic's going to be shiny and then your soft good's going to be dull. So it doesn't. The colors are never right. So yeah, like just give me plastic. Just give me full plastic. I'm not a fan of the soft goods. Then we have a character from Andor. I don't remember her name. It's awesome character. It was awesome in Andor to see like the intelligence side of the Empire, and like that's what this is. That's what this character was. She was really good. Can't wait to see her in season 2. And again, vintage collection. So you have like this, now you have this named character. Again, not a fan of the hyper realistic, them trying to be hyper realistic with face sculpts. Again, awesome figure, awesome show. Not everything Disney Star Wars is bad. I repeat, not everything Disney Star Wars does is bad. Moving on. And we have Trinity from The Acolyte. I like The Acolyte. It was a good show. Stop bitching about it. And again, yes, so here is Trinity. I can't remember what her character's name was. She died in the first episode, and then we got her in flashbacks. And then people complained about the fight choreography with her. I'm like, it was an homage to The Matrix and the old martial arts movies that Star Wars is based on. So that just shows you how much the fan base is actual fan base. Like, oh, it's so slow and looks stupid. Like, George Lucas based this shit off of old samurai movies and kung fu movies. Like, this fits perfectly in Star Wars. Like, you do understand that, right? But this is an awesome figure. Again, not a fan of the soft goods, but at least with the soft goods, the cloak can come off. I guess like that's the only good thing. A lot of action figures that come with coats, their arms are the sleeves of the jacket, hard plastic, so you can't really take those jackets off. Ooh, excuse me, of course. As you know, I'm recording this is when I'm gonna start yawning, and it's only 1:30 in the morning. I'm getting soft. But yeah, this is an awesome figure. That would be my one wish. Like, can we find a way to do plastic removable coats, or not as cheap looking soft good coats, so you can kind of like switch that up a little bit. And then they gave the streets or whatever alleys of Mos Eisley. This is an awesome little playset, $60. You probably could have got away with charging less than that. You probably $50 would have been a better price point for this. But they're banking on all the people who bought the Cantina to buy this. Even though the Cantina didn't fully hit every level, it still hit a lot. So I'm assuming they're gonna hope that the people who bought the Cantina are just gonna go and drop an extra $60 and pick this up to go with their Cantina. But this is the kind of stuff that would be the reason why I would go vintage collection. Like, you can put this up at the back of a shelf, and still display everything around it. It doesn't take up a lot of room. Just trust me, 112 scale things take up a shit ton of room. As I look at my Vanguard and my Stinger on my desk, because I have nowhere else to put them. But yeah, like there's nothing wrong with this. Is it overpriced? Probably a little bit. I haven't looked at the actual dimensions of it to see just how big it is. But I mean, it's cool. Like, at least they're giving us this kind of stuff in one of the lines. They've basically sized themselves out of it in a lot of their other lines. So at least we're getting this kind of stuff in a line still. And then we have Vintage Collection Luke, an updated figure. This kind of goes with what I was going to say with Star Wars earlier. And with G.I. Joe, everyone complains they want something new in these franchises, but then when they get new stuff, the Acolyte, Ahsoka, because now people are saying they like the Ahsoka, even though when it came out people bitched, or Disney Star Wars, they wanted new shit, but when they got new shit, they shit on the new shit because it wasn't the old shit. And this is what happens when you complain that you're not getting, like, you don't want new shit, you get remakes of old figures. Like, yes, there should be every so many years another run of Tatooine Lukes, of New Hope Leia. Like, those core characters should get updated in cycles, every few years. I get that, because technology changes, like articulation gets better, materials get better, and you have to redo trademarks, which is why there's never been years without Transformers, because they've had to keep trademarks going. It's why Bobby of Valverse was able to get his hands on Steel Brigade and Action Force, and could have gotten Flint and Serpentor, because Hasbro wasn't, like, it's so funny. Like, the Transformers team is on top of that stuff. They very rarely lose their trademarks. Boy, did the G.I. Joe team like shit the bed on that, like, because they could have lost a lot of stuff. And why? Because they just didn't want to put any effort into their own IP, like, by one team. Again, like I said, Transformers team is usually on top of that stuff. That's why we get the same. That's why there's the Holy Seven, and I'll talk about that. Like, I won't get into it, but there's the same 7 characters that get made whenever they make a new line in Transformers. Like, that's just what it is, and they sell because it's the same. It's the Holy 7 characters. This is what you should be doing with Luke, Leia, Han, Darth Vader. You know, there should be a set of like 10 figures that you redo every few years, because as long as there is an update and the aftermarket isn't like, even if it's not like a technology update on the figure, like if the aftermarket for like a Luke, the last iteration of Luke is like 4 times what retail was, then yeah, go put out a new one. Be a good guy and go put out a new one, which is basically what Transformers is doing now. Because and I don't even, I would hope it's because they were like, oh look, let's get this into the actual hands of the collectors who wanted it, and let's put the kiboshes on some of these scalpers and resellers, like Bobby has done with some of his figures, where he has literally put them out because the scalpers were getting ridiculous and the resellers were getting ridiculous. But again, yeah, you should have some Star Wars figures that come out every 3-4 years, because I think you need to renew your trademark every 5 years. Yeah. So yeah, like there should be the core group of figures that gets redone every 5 years, every 3 to 5 years, like depending on if it needs an update, or just re-release the old one so that you can have that trademark in hand. Hopefully, the Star Wars team realizes that they're on top of it, because the GI Joe teams surely screwed that up for a while. And then we'll get into the Black Series. We have the Battle Droid and the Staff skiff. These are awesome. I've gotten a couple of the last. I got a K2 droid to go with my Action Force, because it was red and black, and I wanted it to go with my Horde, but it had horrible knees. It fell over all the damn time. Or it was ankles, like whatever. Like even on a stand, it would always fall over. These are cool. Like, Army build these little droids. I like the droids from the prequels. They all had personalities, which makes Star Wars universe even crueler, because clearly the droids have sentient abilities. They are self-aware, and we treat them like cannon fodder in universe. So yeah, this is an awesome figure if you want to get it. Like this, like, give me old Republic MMO game figures, and I would get this, because you can get that skiff in the game as a mount. I have one in the game as a mount on a character. I would be posing it up like that. That thing is awesome. So yeah, episode 1, yeah, that would be awesome. Like there's nothing wrong with this. We're back at Dragon Man. So we'll move on to G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. And here we have the Plusecon exclusive of Starduster. Because in the 80s he liked to sell cereal, and he was basically like the USO version of Captain America. And he comes with a bunch of stuff. And I thought this was a pretty awesome set of photos. Like he's on a green screen, you know, selling that cereal. Sell that cereal to them kids. Oh, my slideshow is my slideshow not gonna work? Why are you not working, slideshow? Let's see if it's because this is in the back. No. All right, let's see if I can figure out why this is not working. You might have to rearrange this a little. Let's go gone. We'll add the directories back in. Doing all this live, folks. We'll do it live. And add in directory. Transformers. Done. Why are you hurting me so? Why you want to hurt me like this? Huh? Why? Why you want to hurt me? is moving now. Go back to manual. And it won't go manual. And I don't think with automatic it's going to go through everything. All right, this is kind of janked up. Let's see. Well, Transformers won't work either. All right. So let's try this. We'll just hide you. Bring this one back up. Remove. Add directory. G.I. Joe. Select folder. Add directory. Transformers. Select folder. Done. There we go. I don't know why that didn't work, but okay. Now on to what I've been collecting lately, the last couple of years, into the two properties that I did do the most pre-orders. Which again, hold up, there was another actual there was a actual Star Wars figure that I did pre-order, and it did not show. Like, there's like a few of them that didn't show up in the. All right, so there's a few of them that didn't show up in the actual JPEG file. JPEG file. JPEG file. Let's add those in. Boom. 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 All right, so yeah, I don't know why these acted up and didn't actually show up in my Star Wars folder. But we'll run through these real quick. Marvel Legends, what is it? Dark Empire, I think. Prince Zizor. He's a character from the old expanded universe. Remember, everyone was bitching. We want expanded universe stuff. We want expanded universe stuff. Yada yada yada. Here you go. Here's an expanded universe figure. Now go out and buy it if you really wanted it, so that Hasbro knows, hey, let's make some expanded universe characters. But also, here's the problem. How many expanded universe characters actually have art for them? Not all of them. So you're looking at characters that were in expanded universe comics, games, things like that, to actually get to what you see in that image, right? In that image over there, like I have to, this image right there is compiled from comic books and video games and things like that. This is not a like official Lucasfilm like rendering. Like, they had to go and get this from multiple sources to make this figure. So that's also the issue that you run into with expanded universe stuff. But it looks cool. He does not have a soft goods lower robe. It looks like, I think it's like only the tassels off the arms are soft goods, and he's got two ponytails for some reason. It looks so weird in the back. I don't know. And then we had Clone Trooper Baraka, all Commander Baraka, Bakara. That's what it was, Bakara. This was Kiyomundi's commander, who shot him out of the sky and killed Plo Koon. I'm sorry, not Kiyomundi, Plo Koon. Or Kiyomundi. I don't know. He was a named trooper who killed his Jedi in Episode 3. I'm pretty sure he's already sold out. Like, again, because when you give a new iteration of a stormtrooper, they're gonna buy it. They're gonna buy it, and they're gonna army build it. There's gonna be like 80,000 Bakaros on somebody's shelf. I'm like, bro, that's he's unique by himself. His clone troopers didn't all look like that. But whatever. I think he might have shot down Plo Koon because I don't remember Kiaramundi's troopers looking like that. I'd have to go back and look. They said it on Pulsecon. I don't remember. And then the Star Wars figure that I actually pre-ordered, the Commando droid. Like that thing looks awesome. I'm just hoping he has better legs than the K2 droid. Put a little red and black paint on that, and it'll go perfectly fine with my Crimson Technologies, my Praetorians, and my Horde troopers, my Horde Swarm troopers, and my Cobras, because my Cobras are all red and black. I don't have any normal blue until I get my pre-order classic Cobra Commander. So yeah, this thing will look awesome. I'll paint him up, get him a little detail in that he doesn't have, and he'll fit in with my other stuff because he looks awesome. Now, let's get into G.I. Joe. Like I said, this is Starduster. He's selling his Cyril because that's what he did back in the 80s. He sold, he was, the USO Joe. In front of the green screen doing the promotional stuff. I didn't include the images of the Valkyrie stealing the cereal and him kicking her in the face and all that. That was fun. It was like legit like the G.I. Joe stuff, whereas the Marvel Legends just had like the render figure PNGs. Like these had like full blown like little stories going through each one of the figures, photography. So it was pretty cool. But you can see he comes with his helmet. He comes with a Steel Brigade helmet, jetpack, blast effects, grenade launcher, binoculars, the classic G.I. Joe laser rifle, knife, and some extra hands. And he is going to be $34. He's considered a deluxe because he comes with all that stuff. Thankfully, the newer figures that come with Steel Brigade helmets, the Steel Brigade helmet fits over the top of their head, and you don't have to take the head off and repeg the helmet on like a separate head. My Night Force Shockwave has that helmet that does that, and it's awesome. But then I also have the Clutch. No, Clutch. Or Breaker. No, Breaker. I have the Breaker. And he doesn't come with a steel. Grunt. I'm sorry. Grunt comes with the Steel Brigade. The Steel Core. I'm sorry, Bobby. I'm sorry. Steel Core comes with the Steel Core helmet that you have to pop the head off and put that one on the ball joint. And they're smaller. Like there's an obvious, like a clearly visible difference in size. I kind of like the updated version where it's a helmet that just fits over the character's head. Because the Steel Core troopers look tiny. The new one that came out in a 2-pack looks tiny, which is up on Hasbro Pulse. I want that. I don't know. The accessories on that pack just look weird. Like I don't need any more of those weapons. Like I'd be kind of cool with the Cobra, the Twilight Guard, but yeah, I don't need that weird Steel Core figure. And then we got Xandar. Definitely getting Xandar because Zorana needs her brother. My Dreadnoughts need somebody else, and Zorana looks so good with Pandora. Like she just hangs out. Like I used to have her hanging out with Pandora in my display, but my Pandora's at work on my work display now. So Zorana's here by herself with the rest of the Dreadnoughts that I have. So it'll be cool to get Xandar to go with her, and like he looks like he would go perfect with that Pandora figure. Like, so yeah, like I'm all in this one. I have this one pre-ordered. Can't wait. Pre-order date is kind of weird though. It's saying like October of 2025. So I'm assuming Amazon will fix that at some point. Then we got the Saw Viper. Again, if this was like black and red, I'd probably have ordered it. But this doesn't speak to me at all because I didn't have G.I. Joes as a kid. I watched the cartoon, but I grew up poor, so I didn't have a lot of these toys. Even the Transformers, He-Man, like I had like one here, one there. Like I didn't have a whole hell of a lot. So, like yeah, this looks cool. I don't know about that gun. Like I'd probably have to get a different saw. Order one. Like I am sure Gridiron is going to do a gear pack for this guy. Like, just no doubt, Gridiron is going to do a gear pack for this. So yeah, I'll wait to see what the gear pack on that. Like, if this was black and red though, I would be all in it, and I probably would have got a couple. Then we got Leatherneck. Leatherneck. Again, I don't know much about the characters, but he looks cool. Like, in all open transparency and honesty, I got into collecting classifieds when, after I read the Action Force novel, I was like, they had like civilian opposition, and I'm like, man, some of those Joes just look like normal dudes who put on some military gear and are like, so I'm like, yeah, all my Joes are gonna be civilian opposition, and then I just started buying. I'm like, God damn it, I fell down that rabbit hole, and I kept buying, and I'm buying and buying, and I got bought Cobras, and I'm like, oh. So now I've got like all this other stuff. So they go. My Action Force and my GI Joes go perfectly fine together. Hey, psst, another little secret I'm gonna let you all in on. GI Joe and Action Force. GI Joe and Action Force can coexist. It's a thing. Coexistence. They work together. Like they fit together. Now, granted, it's a pain in the ass, and all the ball joints on the GI Joes are different. You can't swap heads or do crap like that because they just fall off and they dangle. A damn torpedo is point positive of that. But I will say there are very few. The bulk of my GI Joes came secondhand from whatnot. Like, there are some I get like brand new, but then there are others. Most of the ones, like, I'll go fill out the ranks, not at retail. But yeah, Leatherneck looks awesome. He's going to be an awesome addition to my little civilian opposition. I don't know about that gun. Bobby's got M4s with 203s on them. He'll probably get one of those. I do eventually need to try like the Arsenal of Pew Pews, and probably try and get some Gridiron stuff. Like, I'm not going to be a hater. Like, I have a Gridiron M16. My Gridiron M16 is perfectly fine. I love, like, my airsoft loadout was an M16, Vietnam M16 with the 203 on the bottom of it. I love it. So yeah, like, and Bobby said he's not gonna make one of those, so I had to get it from somebody. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks a lot. Then we got Dialtone. I always thought his backpack looked so weird, and it's still there. And I guess I'll bring it up now. This is where, like I said with Star Wars, GI Joe fans are like, we want new shit, we want new shit, we want new shit. And then when they got new shit, when Classified started, they bitched and complained because the characters didn't look like they did back in the 80s. So that's why you get the Retro Lon. You got like Retro Duke and Retro Scarlet and Retro Recondo and Retro Troopers and Retro Crimson Guard, and really, because they changed very little detail. Like, they just tried to update shit, and the fans had a fit because, again, it's, I want something new. I want something new. No, that shit. I want something. I want. Why doesn't it look like what I had? I want my 1984 O-ring, but I want it in 6-inch with better articulation. That's what they do. That is what they do. And that's what a lot of these figures now are. They're just the 80s toys in 6-inch scale with better articulation, which is fine for somebody like me. I had no attachment to the figures from the 80s. Like, I can barely remember the cartoon. So it doesn't bother me if they don't match up perfectly. I'm good with that. Absolutely good with that. Like, the biggest set of GI Joes I bought was Python Patrol that people hated, but they're all fighting a big alligator man and a big wolf man on the top of my desk. They look awesome. I don't care what the goofy looking color scheme is. They look awesome. Like, if I could put some cypress trees and some water and some bushes and some grass, I would do that. But I'm not that talented to make dioramas like that. So now they just have to fight them on top of my desk at work. On top of my credenza. And then another thing people were bitching about, well, we didn't get no pipeline reveals. We didn't get no pipeline reveals. We didn't get any reveals of what's coming up. Again, if you are a true fan, as much as you bitch and complain, it makes yourself make you sound like you are, you would have known Law and Order was already leaked along with Heavy Duty. These listings have been in the systems for people to see. They said they were going to be making them. But here on Instagram, they released the digital renders of Law and Order. This dude looks awesome. I'm going to get this because I want a German Shepherd, just like I got Mutt and Junkyard because I wanted the Bulldog or the Rottweiler. And, Mutt looks like he fits, as well. But this dude looks awesome. He'll go great with Shockwave, the police. This is an awesome looking figure. I don't know why he needs handcuffs. Like, we couldn't mold that to wherever it is. We had to give actual handcuffs and call it an accessory because it's. I mean, I guess you could pull hands off of other figures and slide them through and then hook them back in to actually have them in handcuffs. So I guess it works that way if you're gonna get into and do stuff like that. But I mean, look at that little puppy. Look at that puppy. He's got like his own little like riot mask. Like this is gonna be an awesome figure. Like no doubt. And we got Heavy Duty with rockets and machine. Like that is a lot of freaking armament that dude's just gonna have hanging from him. Like multiple machine guns, 2 quad rocket launchers. Now, Hasbro, you better have learned from Metalhead, and those rockets better fit in that rocket launcher without the blast effects. Because that's what sucks about Metalhead. The only way to get those rockets on Metalhead is if the blast effects are in them and he's shooting them off, which basically leaves him to be able to be posed in one pose, which is on the back of the damn box, which is him with his arms out and he's shooting all the missiles out. Or you have to have him up and it looks like the missile launchers are empty, which makes no sense. But this looks awesome. I'll get him as well. He's probably going to be considered a deluxe. He's probably going to be like both of these are probably going to be deluxes for like $34. But this thing, like this, that Arsenal backpack thing looks absolutely amazing. And then I'm kind of like wondering what Gridiron is going to do, because they're going to make their own version of this, and that's probably going to look pretty cool. Like again, I can't fault Gridiron; they make good looking shit. So let's get into Transformers. And first up, we're going to talk about some Transformers 1 that comes out this coming weekend, I think, September 20th. I don't know when I'm going to see it or if I'm going to go see it. I don't know yet. But 3-0, these are the 3-0 MDLXs, which I love. Like, I really like that line. I have a MDLX, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee. Oh, excuse me. Original runs. So it's not the animation colors. But I never opened them. Because once I started seeing the prices on the other figures, I'm like, I cannot collect this line and the other Transformers at the same time. Like, these Seekers are $120 a piece. Like, god damn it. And they look good. The Seekers look fucking phenomenal. But they're not $120 phenomenal. Like, I can't do it. And they're big. They're not small. They're big. They're big old chunky boys. So like these look good. That gold on Bumblebee looks really awesome. It comes with a shit ton of accessories to kid him out like he's gonna be in the movie. Then you got Alita 1, who doesn't come with as many accessories. It's kind of bull, and I guarantee she's gonna cost just as much. But hey, she looks awesome. The reddish pink paint job, the shininess of it. Like these figures are awesome. Like the 3-0 figures are absolutely amazing. And then we got Megatron with double heads. So before he goes bad, and I guess after he goes bad, multiple versions of his arm cannon. So you got like the normal looking, one of those looks like the normal, gun Megatron arm cannon, and then the other one looks like a big triple barrel like Gatling cannon thing. So yeah, like I like the designs for the new movie. I haven't I'll go see it. It's not going to be designs that I collect. Unless there's like something really good, like the Sentinel Prime, which it's not in here. They showed it off because I don't think it went up for pre-order. They just showed it. Yeah, no. He's gonna be. I think he's one of the ones that's gonna be up for pre-order today. So yeah, they didn't put any pictures up on the website of it, but he looks kind of cool. He's a Voyager, so he's like a $30, $35 figure, which also means he's bigger than the deluxes. But he looks pretty cool. He looks like he's got an updated, a modern Legacy Siege, the mainline design and aesthetic. So that one I might go with. Damn, I am sorry, people. That one, I might try and get my hands on. And then the Optimus. I'm not a fan of the way Optimus looks in this movie. Like his head looks too big. Look at that melon. It looks too big. His head is too big. His body needs to grow into his head. So yeah, I'm not. Yeah, this is not going to be in this like a line I collect because I don't. While I like the designs, they're just not for me to collect. Like somebody else will find, like somebody else is gonna like love these, and that's gonna be their Optimus, and I'm happy for him because I mean he does look like G1 Optimus. The details and the aesthetics there, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of the like literally this figure is like to turn him into Optimus from Orion Pax. It's put the faceplate on him, change out his chest, and put bigger shoulders on him. So he's got big old chest and biceps and tiny little forearms, or his forearms stay the same the whole time. So yeah, I just we'll see how the design in the movie actually changes and if it grows on me any. So then we have like Overcharge. We have a leader class troop builder because this is a repaint of Blitzwing. And this is the repaint line and the reissue wave. And people were complaining. Like JT Prime showed the listing for what was going to be at Plusecon months ago. Like no deviation. Like this is exactly what he said was going to be coming in this wave. And hey, I have Blitzwing. I don't need this overcharge unless it gets like dirt cheap because Blitzwing went on sale because his tank mode looked good, the robot mode looked good, the jet mode just was not working. But I don't transform my Transformers; they're all in robot mode. So yeah, if this thing goes down to like $30 on Pulse on clearance, or shows up at some discount store, yeah, I'll be on it then. But I'm not paying full price for it's just not one at full price. I don't need it. Like at a discounted price, yeah, I can go put him on my Decepticon shelf, and I just need one of them. He's not going to be a troop builder. He's just going to be a one character called Overcharge. And then we have animated or Prime Wheeljack. I don't know. I pre-ordered him because I love the Sideswipe mold, and it's just another version of that Sideswipe mold, and he fits in with the rest of the Siege aesthetic of of what mainline looks like now. So yeah, he's one of those ones from another series that I'm perfectly fine with getting because the aesthetic of his figure fits in with what they're doing with mainline. So yeah, I have him pre-ordered, and that makes it literally only one of the Sideswipe molds that I do not own. I don't have the G2 Sideswipe. I never did buy that 2-pack. I don't know what it goes for now, and I haven't checked on eBay in a long time to see exactly how much it's going for. But yeah, this will go with the rest of my Sideswipes over on the shelf over there. And then we have G2 Breakdown and I got it. I pre-ordered it because I'm not gonna have two of each of these. I have two of the regular Stunticons. I have a Minosaur in combined mode, and then I have the individual bots in robot mode on the shelf. These will just be individual bots, and if I want to do like I can put them in combined mode to maybe take some pictures of them or whatever, because really it's just the same. It's the same thing in just a different color. But aesthetically they're different enough from like the other ones that you can say these are like completely different, you know, characters. So this is the next one of the G2 Stunticons, which leaves the two left, the Ferrari and the truck. Yeah, I think there's only two left. I think we've got three. We've either got two of the G2 Stunticons or three of them. I think we got no, we've only got two. We need three left. We need the Ferrari, the why am I drawing a blank? I'm looking at them dead ass. I'm looking at them right now. We need the Ferrari. This is the third one. So no. Okay, so this will be the third one. Then we need the Ferrari and the truck. We need Motomaster and Dead End. No, Dead End's the Porsche. I can't remember what the Ferrari's name is. But yeah, so after this one, we'll need two more, and then I'll have the G2 Stunticons. So again, this one is a pre-order already. Yeah. And then we have the box set of Dino King from the core class Dinobots. I do not know all of these names. This was a G2 toy, I want to say, or a Japanese only toy that combined into Dino King. They all changed into little dinosaurs, so that's why we got Volcanicus in the core class Dinobots. There you go. You got your plesiosaur and your triceratops, or your brachio. See a plesiosaur or brachiosaurus? I don't remember what the hell Sludge is supposed to be. These guys and this little T-Rex and an Ankylosaurus, and then these two, which is Stegosaurus and a Pterodactyl, and they make Dino King. It's an awesome toy. I don't collect the core classes unless they're like mainline characters or that small to get them. But yeah, like this is cool, and it's Pulse. It's a Pulse website exclusive, so it's not going to be mainline. I mean, it's not going to be at main retailers. So this will probably be up for a while once they actually get them in, because these kind of like hang loose, and then they eventually, 3 to 6 months after release, they finally sell out. And then we got our reissue of Ramjet. Fun fact: my Conehead survived the tornado, except for Dirge, who disappeared. So I have my original Ramjet, and I have my original Thrust. No, my Dirge survived. My Ramjet survived. My original Thrust did not survive because he went missing. So he's probably in the swamp somewhere. The tornado picked him up and threw him into the swamp. So I got that reissue. Yeah, so this one I did not need. But it's cool that other people are going to be able to get it. Like I said, this is the reissue wave. This was in that Target 2-pack. So now I guess the exclusivity window is past. So they were able to split them up and put them out as individual SKUs. And, for everybody that wants to get it, here you go. And then we have Galaxy Shuttle. This is another one that I pre-ordered because we could not find this anywhere in America. It went to very few places. Like Expedia 500 got shanked. The hot rod never came out. Like, I don't think anyone ever got their hands on that hot rod. This went to other places. Canada got a bunch of these, and they still didn't show up on eBay for to sell. So it's cool that this is getting reissued. It's the Astro Train mold. Galaxy Shuttle was from Transformers Victory. But it's awesome just to have another version of that mold. The Astro Chain mold to me it's awesome. It's good. I didn't buy the add-on third-party upgrade kit to cover the back end of it. It's because again, my Transformers stay in robot mode, and that's what he'll do. He'll go on my Autobot shelf and he'll chill out with fucking Jetfire, and because he's a big old boy and honestly, there's way more deluxes than there are Voyagers on the Autobot Solid. But yeah, so he's definitely, I pre-ordered him. He's gonna be good to go. And is that it? Is that all we got? Let me double check. Let me double check my folder, because I had a bunch of, I took all the pictures. No, see, so there's some that aren't showing up. I don't know why. So let's add some more files so we can talk about them. And that would be Cosmo, Origins Bumblebee, and Tarn. Cosmo, Bumblebee, and Tarn. All right, so again, these are more reissues. For some reason, people were saying Tarn was hard to get a hold of. Again, this is where pre-order comes in handy. I got him directly from Amazon. I bought him from, like, Amazon is your best friend when it comes to Transformers and pre-ordering these things. You just go in there, you pre-order them, you click it and forget it, and then you just all of a sudden get shit sent to you, and you're like, oh crap. But yeah, I got Tarn. He's sitting up there next to Bludgeon. It's a cool figure. He's a little skinny for my liking. Like, he's got some bird ass legs, but it's a cool figure. Like, I don't know the story of the comics. I didn't read any of those IDW issues or anything else like that. He looks cool. The Decepticon logo face that he welded onto himself because he's a madman. So he's got like his own subset team. Eventually, we'll get more of them. But yeah, this is cool. Again, I have him. I didn't need him, but I'm glad it's going to be there for people who do want him. Then Origin Bumblebee. I didn't get him originally, and I still don't think I want to, because this would be the ones where I don't change them into robot mode. Like, he would stay in Cybertronian little car mode, Jazz would stay in Cybertronian car mode, and Wheeljack would stay in Cybertronian car mode, which does me no good. Like, I don't have a Cybertron backdrop or anything else like that to like I don't need it. Like, this is an example of, do I really need it? No, so I don't need to spend the money. Like, that's what more people in this damn hobby should do. Like FOMO is not getting me on this one. And then we have Cosmo. I was lucky enough. I got Cosmo. I did not get Cosmo from original retail. I got him off of eBay. I think I might have paid like $45 for him, which was well over what he was originally at retail. But again, Hasbro, for some reason, only put one of him in every case in America or North America. But in Europe, he got full cases. They got full cases of Cosmos. But when he came over here, he was in a case assortment, and there was only one in each box. I don't understand it. I haven't opened him either yet. So, but now that we're getting the reissue, I can open him. I had left him in because I was just like, hey, if we don't ever get a read thing, I might have to sell him. But they're reissuing him, so his value is not gonna his resale value is gonna go down. I know. Again, I said I hate those resellers, but hey, sometimes you just gotta make a buck. Times is tough for a player out in these streets trying to get this plastic crack. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. But that is it for Plusecon 2024. Again, do I think we needed it? No. Could we have shown all of this stuff? Yes. If we're going to get Transformers reveals and pre-orders today, all of that crap could have just waited a week for today. And, we knew Starduster was coming. We knew Xandar was coming. We knew the Saw Viper was coming. We knew, Leatherneck and Dial Tone were coming. Like, There was no reason to like do a special event for those. Now, I don't know how the leaks work in the Star Wars and the I don't know how it works in the Star Wars community. If those leaks find their way out like Transformers and G.I. Joe know. In the Marvel Legends. I think the Marvel Legends leak just like everything else. So yeah, like all this shit was known what was coming. So there was no reason really to like do this event. Not when you've sandwiched between San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con. There was no reason for it. Especially and again, like I said, the Transformers are gonna have something this month, like today, and then they're gonna have something in October. So it really didn't make any sense. It just, hey, look at me. I want to talk to you. Stop being jerks on the internet. This is toys. It's not that serious. This is supposed to be a fun hobby. It's supposed to be, quick dopamine hits to like keep us from going insane. But some of y'all act like this is y'all y'all livelihoods depend on this. Like you will die without it. The only people that should be taking toys this seriously are the companies that make these toys because their livelihoods depend on it. Ours don't. There's no reason to be assholes in Facebook groups or in YouTube video comment sections or making YouTube videos shitting on other people. Granted, I said some people had some really shitty, takes on some stuff, but that is coming from not a place of like, don't you dare talk bad about my toys. But man, just do some research before you make a fucking hour-long video. Like, you want somebody to sit down and listen to you. And again, like I'm gonna make you an hour-long video here today too. And I hope that I have enough knowledge and enough background and enough context that where you find what I say interesting and don't get absolutely annoyed when you hear me say something stupid. Other than my stupid little quips. Look, man, I gotta find some kind of personality and stick out on the internet. I went to school for this, make these videos and do production stuff. Like, if my shit looks stupid, like that's telling me I wasted money. So again, everybody, it's not that serious. We don't need to be shit talking people. Oh, and again, let's just a clear example of that. Everybody got their wish. Emily is no longer on G.I. Joe. You got B-Mac. And B-Mac left Transformers, and we've got a new dude. Are you happy? Is that going to make your lives easier? Emily's not going to be on your screen for these videos that you don't need to watch. Nobody is holding a gun to your head saying, hey, you have to watch this. And you have to use everyone's proper pronouns. Nobody's telling you that. Nobody is holding a gun to your head and making you watch. Nobody's holding a gun to your head, making you buy. It's just toys. It's not that serious. Remember, internet, we're all humans. The old adage, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, isn't true. What you say to somebody could fuck them up. And that's not cool. So be better to one another. Until next time, I am Wayne, also known as Media Clash. And I'm out. It's 2:20 in the morning.